goal celebrations. What we're doing now is extending the pool, increasing the variety of cutscenes, creating more fun, more specialized versions. Camera work, replays, and also transitions between the game and broadcasts. As I said, there are plenty of improvements, not just technically, but visually too. The difference is huge.
Do you feel like TV broadcast directors when you're working on cutscenes? Are you simply trying to reproduce what we see on TV? Or do you try to take chances and add in features that would be absolutely impossible and never seen in real life, but which you...
Funnily enough, in broadcasting, we sometimes see it the other way around. They incorporate something taken from video games. For example, a true view camera that emulates a first-person view out there on the pitch, or a spider cam flying over the stadium, and so on and so on. We aim to create... But I like to think there are people who take the time to watch and enjoy all the cutscenes, and they appreciate the effort. We definitely do it for them, first and foremost. To create fun, we always try to provide a player with the greatest variety of videos we can. I can't give numbers right now, as well as the context of the whole game. And I'm not just talking about goal celebrations. There are reactions, offsides, corners, and build-ups. And of course, there are free kick cutscenes. Every free kick is like its own mini-story. And depending on where the kick is being taken from, defenders behave differently, and the build-up is different. And there are lots of those plots. We always aim to make them entertaining, surprising, and fun to watch. System for when the referee approaches the footballer who committed the offense. You won't be able to predict what the referee's decision is going to be. We've deliberately planned the animations that way, and I like to think they work well. You see, usually anyone who plays a lot will know this. They know in advance what the punishment's going to be, even at the start of the cutscene. You can tell from the... Like I said, the game designer put a lot of work into his scripts. Now it's up to the programmers to put it into the game, so it won't be as simple as just triggering each scene from the pool randomly. It would depend on a variety of factors, like at what point in the game the event happens. First half, or second half, or just before the final whistle. Who plays for which team, etc. You can't just ignore those things. For example, let's imagine one of the teams makes a substitution. We need to be able to trigger a cutscene for that particular player, in that specific context. So we get to see him from a certain angle, or we show us highlights from a previous match, or a trademark breathing life into this generated world. And to do that, we're adding things like camera shakes, lens flare, imperfect focus with some distortion, as if we're really actually using a wide-angle camera. You know, the kind of lens that bends the edges of the shot. Nuances, imperfections, and hiccups are very real, and while the player moves the one on the ball. So you have a team of 11 footballers, but you can only control one of them at any one time. But while you are doing that, all the others are being guided by AI Assist, our system. So basically what we're saying is, AI Assist is your team. We've set it up so that it will support whatever action you choose to go for. Whether it's an attack, or in defense, if you're trying to regain possession, or whatever. AI Assist should understand what you're aiming to do and help you complete it rather than get in your way. Here's a real example for you. Let's say we're working on a particular feature and we need to implement a footballer's positioning while they're passing the ball. We have guys in our team who played professional football, and we approach them. After all, they know the drill from the inside. We describe the situation, the context to them. We say, here's the ball, here are your teammates, you're here and the opponents are here, here, and over there. And we give them more detail about things like formation, their role, everything, and then ask them, what would you do? The thing is, that's the tough bit. I have to come up with an algorithm of how to find this abstract, best position. Is it being a particular distance from their teammate, a particular distance from their opponent, the best pass trajectory, their current position on the pitch, whatever. Something that I can measure. I have to make sure I understand why they chose to stand closer to the opposition goal. Or why are they moved further away, for example. Understanding the footballer's instincts. That is comic elements. And each one of those little elements has a particular role to play with its own designated rules within the system. It applies to anything that happens on the pitch, whether a player makes a run, finds space, tracks back, man marks his opposite number, or makes himself available. We have to cover all these actions for every player. And that's what we're doing right now, fine-tuning and balancing those subsystems and making them work harmoniously. And that takes a lot of time. The problem was that the original skeleton of the models was really simple, but that original one was enough to get us up to the 80% mark. But not any further. Since then, in the polishing stage, we've improved it an awful lot. It's way more complex now, and the moves are much more fluid. The footballer's back, shoulders, and everything moves smoothly and naturally. The models now look more like... They will be tall and short, big and small, muscular and thin. Before, we were trying to achieve that by creating lots of different models. It soaked up an immense amount of resources, both in system performance and the team. Now we're using this new style skeleton instead. And what this means is, we don't need a lot of models anymore. Just one is enough to create any player we want. He could have wide shoulders and thin legs, be tall, slim, bulky, anything. Also, we want to put some work into improving fabric physics, and the skeleton's bones will be in the system. I would say the skeleton is ready, yes. We need to fix a couple of animation issues that appeared when we switched from the previous system. And we also need to make some finishing touches. But overall, I'd say it's about 80% ready.